Hello!
I'm Kate Butch.
And I'm Caitlin Powell.
And this is Quiz Gone By, the show where we talk about nostalgic film, TV and snacks and try to work out if that's what made us queer.
And today
we're going back on a very popular episode.
Don't you mean today we're going back on a very popular episode?
These violent delights have violent ends.
Me getting palmed off at the school disco. Fucking hell.
But first,
yes.
Shall we have a little snack?
Yes.
We've got gingerbread vampires.
Gingerbread vampires.
It's very spooky and very apt.
Yes, I love a gingerbread man, and this is just even cuter. He's not like Edward, he doesn't just sparkle.
He's not got as many abs.
He's a proper vampire, he's got a little cape and some fangs. Does Edward have fangs?
I think he's just got big teeth.
It's not the same thing as a fang though, is it?
Teeth.
Very teeth, right. Are you ripping his head off?
I've snapped his head off.
Same, yeah. Head's coming off.
Which is what they do. The violence. That's what they do in the film.
It's true,
Snap
actually.
his heads off.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh.
It's certainly gingerbread
Mm-hmm.
with icing on top.
Yeah, also to co-op. I think I prefer a gingerier gingerbread.
Alright. Oh, fuck off then, shall I?
Just giving some feedback. Doesn't reflect on you.
If anyone from the co-op is listening.
Fuck you. And your gingerbreads. Fuck your gingerbreads.
Fucking gingerbreads!
Was it obvious what I was referencing that?
Yeah. And if not, this is the wrong podcast for you. We are going back for a second time because we loved it so much the first time. We are reviewing the Twilight Saga, and boy is it a saga.
There's more, aren't there?
Yeah, 3 more after this.
What?
3 more.
They made 5 total?
Yeah.
Aren't there 3 books?
4 books.
Oh, so the Harry Potter kind of thing.
Yeah, even though it didn't need it. The Twilight Saga, New Moon. Oh, New Moon. I wish it was a new moon. I'd say moon all over again. It's a rehash of the first one.
It was just the same. Like, even if you hadn't seen the first one, I think this would still be boring because it's the same conversation over and over and over and over again.
It is just people having conversations.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, is films, but...
But somehow this doesn't.
their conversations are so shit.
It's always, you can't be with me, but I want to be with you. Shut up! I'm gonna run into the woods and be alone.
There's so much running into the woods and being alone.
I mean, I wish, for me, but I'm not trying to date a 17-year-old. 18-year-old, she turns 18.
Oh.
So, if I was trying to, if I was a many 100-year-old vampire, or 106? How old is
Who
it?
the fuck knows?
I don't know.
Who cares?
And I was trying to woo an 18-year-old. Woo. I certainly would provide a bit more emotional support. But I'm not, so it doesn't matter, is it? Fuck it.
So the film kicks off with some, someone's seen the 911 music video.
Kicks off with a moon, didn't it?
Bitches in red cloaks. Oh yeah,
Oh.
bloody moon. And it takes about 6... The film is 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Which is
And at
about
least
2 hours
15
long.
of
This could have been 10 minutes long.
Most of it is just the moon slowly changing. And the words new... Oh no, because new... When... Stupid.
Yeah.
These bitches in a red cloak, like they're in the 911 music video.
Yes.
Which is a dreamy kind of sequencey
Yeah,
thing.
she sees her nan in a field.
But
the nan is her.
I am the woman. The woman is me. It's just so on the nose.
And then it's like,
She's looking in a mirror and...
Nan, I'd like you to meet someone. But it's her. I don't know, it was so stupid.
I don't know. She's scared of growing old when he doesn't.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. The one thing I will say about this film, it definitely inspired a generation of young women to think they'd be good at English literature. Because they saw all this really heavy-handed symbolism and were like, well, if I can interpret this, I'm pretty sure I can do anything else. No, babes. I'm sorry, it gets a bit more complex than that.
Speaking of heavy-handed symbolism, she wakes up next to a copy of Romeo and Juliet.
Yes. Also, I know this isn't the point, but she has a really ugly photo of a succulent on her wall, and it pissed me right off.
Photo of a succulent?
Yeah.
Get a succulent, babe.
Yeah.
Oh no, because she used to live in the desert, didn't she?
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't care, but...
No, me neither.
Fine.
It's her birthday.
Yes.
Charlie brings her birthday presents, camera, and an album. And instantly we were like, well, these are going to be fucking useless. All our friends are vampires.
Yeah! We were like, oh, this is going to be really funny. There's going to be a moment which tries to pick... No.
No.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Misery. There isn't any lightness. There's no comic relief in this film.
Sometimes I think that there's attempts,
Mm.
but it's not humour, it's just someone being like, yeah. It's like just sarcasm.
Oh yeah, I mean, we were watching it with the subtitles, and
Yeah.
it'd be like, brackets, laughs.
Brackets scoffs.
And then it's just going, huh.
Yeah. Yes, she goes to school with a little camera.
Yeah.
And I've never seen someone less eager to take a photo that they are proposing to take. Like, she's like, hey guys, get together. I'm going to take a photo of you. And everyone's like, oh, cool, yeah, let's get involved, let's get in the photo. And she's like, cool, yeah, it's a nice photo.
This is everything that Kristen Stewart does in this film. She's like, oh, well, I might as well do it since I'm fucking here. Why not then, lads, let's do it.
Yeah.
And then Edward arrives in slow motion.
They do the weirdest kiss I've ever seen. It's mainly breathing.
And they just put their lips near each other, like, horrid. And they just chat nonsense, I don't fucking know.
Yeah. And then Jacob turns up. And given that he's just turned up, he's clearly seen them kissing. But he's like, why don't I really obnoxiously flirt with this girl who's just been making out with another guy? And to be honest, good for him.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Jacob has got swole.
Yeah, what was he like
Julius
in the
the
first film?
He's a little bit, he's toned.
Okay, but now he's got
He's not like-
buff.
Beefy.
He's supposed to be 16. I'm guessing this actor, what's his name? Taylor Lautner.
Mm-hmm.
Was he like 20 something?
Probably.
Yeah.
And he gives her
A dream catcher.
a drink.
And I was like, this'll be important, but no, it's just like more symbolism.
So just to remind you, I am Native American.
Yeah.
Great, yeah.
Also, dreams are going to be an important thing in this film, sort of, not really.
Look, it does a fucking shit job of catching about dreams. He spends half this film screaming in his sleep.
There's one point where he just... Ooh. There's one point where he just... When he's in her room, he just walks up to the dream catcher, stares at it for a bit, then turns around and talks to her. Do you notice that bit?
No, I didn't notice that bit.
To be fair,
I forgot about the dream catcher as soon as it was...
We were both on our phones throughout the whole thing. We were like, this is awful. I will say this is one of the worst films I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, absolutely.
It's even like The Room, even films that are objectively terrible are better than this because it
More
has
fun.
has a sense of fun.
Yeah.
This was exhausting.
We've kind of committed ourselves to watching all of them.
Oh, we
at
have,
some
haven't
point.
we? Yeah.
Ugh. Alice, the other vampire, another vampire from the family.
Yeah.
If you haven't listened to the Twilight one, go back and listen to the Twilight one.
Yeah. Also, I feel like I'm the only person who doesn't know the plot of Twilight at this stage, so...
All I can remember is like Taylor Lautner falls in love with the baby,
Yeah.
and she's also animated. Alice gives her a present, which is the dress.
Oh, is it? Oh, for the party.
She's like, you can wear this later, and she's not really helped her out there. It's not a nice dress.
It's a piece of fabric.
It's a piece of fabric. Because they're at the birthday party. Oh no, not yet. I thought, there's even more filler. All filler.
Filler. Just
Some
filler.
filler, yeah.
Yeah. They are in an English lesson. They're doing Romeo and Juliet.
Who cries at Romeo and Juliet?
I remember when I was like, did you have this, like, you're fucking 15 or whatever, reading Romeo, maybe younger, I don't know, reading Romeo and Juliet, and you're like, this is like me and my crush, and it's like, I hope to fuck not.
Because I am 13 and he is in his 20s.
Dating in the Midlands, isn't it? And I love how they're making such an obvious comparison between Romeo and Juliet and Edward and Bella, which makes total sense, because they're both morons. Yeah.
Edward tells her about the Volturi, who were the secret...
I couldn't hear a single thing when they were...
We hadn't put the subtitles on yet.
No. You were just muttering.
The Volturi, who were like the vampire aristocracy, led by Michael Sheen.
He
Thrilled to
says,
see
they're
Michael
led
Sheen.
by Michael Sheen! In the film he says that. And she's like, wow.
He's not acting, he's just there.
He's got the range.
They have, their big law is don't let the humans know about the vampires. Mm-hmm. So Bella's a bit like, ugh.
It must be why
Vampires.
it must be why they set their lair in the middle of a human town, where they famously celebrate killing vampires. It must be why. Makes total sense.
Stupid. And they talk about Victoria, who was the ginger gal from the last film.
Mm-hmm.
Who's gonna come back for them because they killed James.
I don't remember that guy.
He was the main villain.
Blonde.
Blonde, topless.
The entire film
was
was like,
hey, come to your ballet school, bitch.
yeah. And it's like, James gonna get you. James gonna get you.
That's the one.
Yeah. Why is it like Laurent, Victoria and James. Jim. He's Jimmy Vampire.
Jimmy Vampire.
Well, it is.
It is. You're not wrong. And Bella's like, Edward, you need to turn me into a vampire, so like we can be together forever, and like she's not going to try and kill me.
Mm-hmm.
Great time, lovely time.
Oh, they had that conversation then. Again, I have no idea.
They had that conversation thousands of times.
Also, while they were in English class.
Yeah. So you're a vampire, right?
Someone turns around like, what are you guys talking about?
Who's Michael Sheen?
Right.
So they're at the party at the Cullens. I say party, they're all just standing around.
She falls down the stairs, which I think was just like a blooper that they kept in.
She doesn't like crash down, she like skips a few steps.
Like, what's her name? Alice pulls her, she's like, whoa.
And
Alice is like, I found this in your bag, do you mind? And pulls out the camera, and I'm like, you rifled through her shit, she should mind.
I mean, she knows all of her thoughts.
She's just got no sense of like
She
personal.
knows everything that's going to happen to her.
I guess a bag isn't to mind.
Boundaries.
Yeah,
Alice.
but she's got no sense of boundaries.
The bag isn't to mind.
Perform the boundaries. That sounds like a fucking essay I might write.
Please. And then they give her a little present, and I don't know how this fucking idiot, Bella Swan, she doesn't deserve to be a vampire. She's a straight menace. She's a liability.
She is a straight liability.
She cuts her finger on a fucking gift box.
And
was the ribbon too sharp?
You know when you get a paper cut, and it's like, and it doesn't even look like a cut for a second, it's just like, but this like is spurting blood everywhere. And so, Edward, very calmly, very gently, throws her against the wall. And I like howled with laughter, because this is the funniest shit I have ever seen. That's the best bit of the film. Where he just slams her against the wall. And it's like, I gotta protect you. Oh, she's dead.
Because he's like, oh, Jasper.
The new vampire.
He's the newest one, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I'm gonna fucking eat you.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeet, her against the wall.
And then they pulled Jasper back and they turned to Bella and she's like covered in blood.
Like her arm is
like ripped open.
from
It's
shoulder
like
to
bone
wrist.
poking out.
Talk about an insult to injury. I mean,
It's incredible. Oh, that was my favourite moment. It's downhill from here, honestly.
so Carlisle sews her up.
Yeah, they have a conversation about something, presumably.
You better look away.
Oh yeah, I did. I don't like doctors or medical things.
Okay, I think Carlisle's really fit.
So you're like, sew me up, daddy.
Sew me up, daddy. Also, I really like injections and needles and things.
You like them?
I fucking love an injection.
No. I can do...
I can't wait to get a flu shot this year.
I can do gore if it's quite stupid, so I could watch Saw, for example.
Mm-hmm.
It's dumb, but I can't...
Oh, sorry, is this not dumb? Not dumb enough for you?
The film is dumb.
He throws her against the wall because she gets a paper cut on a fucking cardboard box.
No, but he sews her up like a proper doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Responsible.
Too realistic for me, personally.
And again, on the way home, Bella's like, you need to change me.
Yeah, this conversation happens about 50 times.
Mm-hmm.
They have, you need to change me. I'm going to age. We can't be together. Do you think that matters? I love you so much. Fuck you. That's the conversation.
It's just too dangerous for you to be with me.
Yeah, and then they keep... I think there are about 5 breakups in this film, but none of them... We were both like, have they broken up?
Literally, have they broken up?
Yeah.
I didn't listen to the dialogue.
He
He's
just
like,
walks
I've got to be far
away.
away from you because my fake brother loves
Well, that
blood.
happens later. Oh. Well, yeah, so then they separate for a bit, and there's a montage of her looking sad in various locations. Then he turns up at her house. Can people stop breaking into her house? No wonder she has trouble with boundaries. People reading her mind, going through her bag.
Use a fucking doorbell, babes.
Yeah.
Ding dong.
And he's like, come take a walk with me. And says they have to leave Forks because the brother is not aging and people are noticing.
Perhaps.
I don't know.
Who knows at this point?
Yeah.
And he's like, you just don't belong in my world, Bella. And she goes, I'm coming. And he goes, I don't want you to come.
Incel.
and then my mind wandered. And I thought,
Oh, of course it did.
What if they replaced Bella in this with Bella from the Tweenies?
Oh, I thought you were going to say, like, a cock destroyer or something.
Oh, God. I mean, you could replace with anything, the film would be infinitely better.
Yeah.
But like, just imagine, like, a massive blue girl. It's like, what's a vampire?
The film would be infinitely better.
I'm doing this now.
Yeah. He also says...
Picture yourself in the toy shop.
He says, this is the last time you're ever going to see me. And I was like, bet it fucking isn't.
Oh,
Sadly. Imagine if this Fiend credits roll.
I wish.
You would love it.
I wish.
Yeah. Oh, and she goes, so they say goodbye, and then she goes running after him, and it's very like, oh, I lost him in the woods. Number one, he was like, I know he can walk quickly, but come on. He was like 2 seconds away. And also, you know where he lives. Go back to yours and get your truck. What's going on? She falls asleep in the woods, basically.
Yes. And then she's being carried by a big strong boy.
Yeah, there's a big search party after her, and we see like her being carried in a mysterious...
By some strong arms.
Yeah.
And some pecs.
And then...
I need 2 big strong boys to help me.
Yeah. And her dad is like standing outside like wondering where, and then this guy, this topless man comes out of the woods holding her, and his initial question is, what the fuck is going on? Why are you topless? Imagine if you saw your daughter being carried out of the woods by a topless man.
I get it, Cal.
You'd have questions.
I would be carried out of the woods by a topless man.
But you're not a 17-year-old girl.
You don't know my story.
Sorry. I don't want to...
I'm actually 16, and I don't need a governess.
Fucking hell.
Anyway, the months go by. She spends all of it sitting in a chair, looking out the window. Like, lockdown trailblazer.
Yeah.
That's
At
what
this
I did
point,
start
I
with.
was thinking, and I was correct, I wrote down, at this stage, if Edward returns, it's only because someone else has started fucking her. That's the only reason he's going to return. And I wasn't wrong! I mean, ostensibly it's, oh, because he thinks she's gonna die. But you know. He's like, oh, the guy with pecs is fucking her, I don't like this. Hate it. Anyway.
She keeps screaming in her sleep,
Yes.
and Charlie's like, you should probably go live with your mum because...
You're screaming because you're having a breakup. That is the most terrifying overreaction I've ever seen in my life. How long have they been dating?
About 3 weeks.
Cool.
I don't
What's the trauma, babe?
Get out a t-shirt. She's like, no.
That's our version of What's the Story, Morning Glory.
What's
the trauma, babe?
She lies that she's still friends with Anna Kendrick because she's drifted away from all her friends. She's been sitting in the...
Because her vampire boyfriend didn't love her anymore.
So she's like, no, I'm going out with Anna Kendrick. Super fun,
Yeah.
don't worry. I've still got friends, I'm not having a breakdown.
Yeah.
And when they're out, some leery guys are like, alright, Charlie, you want to ride on this motorbike?
Well, she has a flashback to an actual assault. This is the thing about these films. They really do go, assault, little sprinkle. Okay, back to the storyline. It's really weird. Like, she has PTSD from this event. Like, she's having flashbacks. And we're supposed to see it as, oh, she's been a little bit reckless. No, it's like, oh, God, I hate this film. Hate this franchise.
Same.
Hate this life.
You chose this.
I just thought it would be fun. I don't know why.
She gets on the motorbike, which is her confronting her past.
And also because
That's
when
the
she...
trauma, babe.
That's trauma, actually. Oh, God. Every time she goes towards danger, Edward appears. So it's her way of trying to, like, summon him back to her.
Yes. What's the word? It's like when, like, near-death experience.
Yeah. It is emotionally fucked that essentially she's had a breakup and is now trying to guilt her ex-boyfriend into coming back to save her.
Mm.
I mean, I know he's a vampire, but also, if we just, like, take that out of it, this is fucked.
Is she, or is it just the thrill of it that makes her have the visions of him? Because it's not him in real life.
Oh.
Oh, did you think it was him in real life coming back all the time?
I thought it was, like... not real life, just like a... Oh... I don't know, like, sort of in between, I think I thought.
Okay.
So he was looking out for her, but it's more like a projection. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay. I mean,
is that not right?
I don't know. She's losing her fucking mind, either way.
If she's just losing her mind and it's got nothing to do with him, go ahead, babes. Lose your mind.
Yeah.
That's your trauma, actually. Oh god, yeah, she gets on the motorbike. Yeah.
They go on a little drive.
Also, I'm like, this is a really bad message for young teenage girls. Like, you don't get a wonderful, thrilling ride if you go on a motorbike with a strange man who's like 20 years older than you.
That's where I've been going wrong.
Yeah.
I see.
Don't do that.
I'll stop now.
Yeah.
And so she loves the thrill of the motorbike that she goes and salvages 2 wreckages of motorbikes.
Yeah.
And gets Jacob to help her fix them up. Or
Yes.
fix them up, and she watches and throws pizza at him.
Yeah, he's like, this is stupid and reckless, and I'm like, she's fixing a motorbike, not bungee jumping.
Mm.
Like, you gonna teach her? Turns out no, but also he's very strong. We get told how very strong he is because he picks up the fucking motorbike. I don't know.
And then they're going on a little drive, and they see in the distance.
Well, first we meet his terrible friends.
Oh yeah.
His horrible, horrible friends. And she also goes on about being a bad influence on him. And I'm like, you're obsessed with hierarchies and relationships, probably because you dated a 106-year-old vampire. But who am I to say?
And the friends have joined a gang of topless men with tattoos.
Yeah. I don't know if you know this, because I don't know if I missed it or if it hasn't been explained yet. At this point, is Jacob a werewolf yet?
No, because he's still got his long hair and he hasn't got a tattoo. Or I don't know if he's like...
What turns him into a vampire? Is it him turning
Well,
60?
I don't know.
Is it an age thing? Because I think it's the moment where he gets angry in the cinema later on. I thought that was the turning point.
Oh.
It's very unclear
Mm-hmm.
when he becomes a werewolf and what his relationship is with these boys.
Yeah.
Because they seem to hate each other, but then they're friends later.
They're bumming.
No.
They're bumming.
Okay.
So they're doing cliff diving.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, what a fascinating idea.
Yeah.
Let's put a pin in that. And she goes back on a bike.
Yeah.
Which has an Edward vision
Yeah.
of Edward.
Yes.
Edward vision of Edward.
And she crashes her bike.
She crashes, and he comes to save her. And he's like, oh, don't worry, we'll just get you some, like, Calpol or something. And she is fully, like, dripping from the gash on her head.
Yes.
And he takes his top off, because that helps.
Yeah.
I mean, helps me. And just, like, dabs it on her forehead. He's like, that's got the worst of it out.
Yeah, and he keeps, like, she's like, you're so hot, oh my
You're
god.
sort of beautiful.
Yeah. And
Sort of?
Yeah, he's sort of beautiful. He's not.
Okay.
I mean, you were fucking dripping.
I was. Bloody was.
Okay.
I needed him to take his top off and walk
Kate
me down
Butch
with it.
left the room, and as soon as I was like, oh, he's taking his top off. Oh, she came running.
I went for a wee, and then I was like, stuck it back in.
Right.
He's got his top off.
It's raining, he's got his top off. Yeah, she's just like throwing up blood, basically, and he's like, you're not so bad yourself. It's just like, what the fuck is happening?
And the next day she goes back to school and rejoins her old friends at the table. And they're talking about, oh, there's a bear in the woods that's killed people.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, yeah, my dad's working on this case.
And they're like, oh, you're back. And clearly she's made a big step coming back to them after she's had her big trauma of being broken up with once. And the blonde guy, Mike, is like, hey, so since you're back, do you want to... Essentially ask her on a date.
Yeah.
And instead of saying either, yes, I'd like that, thank you very much, or, no, I don't think so, but why don't we get all our friends to go on a lovely friend date?
Yes.
Well, she goes, yeah, I'd actually like that, but not romance. Let's see this action film. And also, guys, let's come along, let's ruin everything. You just be straight up with him.
Yeah, they go to the cinema and Jacob appears because she's invited him, and then
everyone else is ill or something.
Yeah.
Which I was like, did Mike tell them to say they're ill because he didn't realise Jacob was coming? Maybe.
And they watch Face Punch.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I know I said I don't like gore, but like, it doesn't sound that gory. Like, there's a gun at one point. I can't remember.
They have that sound effect that everyone uses.
Ah!
Like, yeah, that one. I was like, this is comedy. No?
This is an attempt at humour, right? And Mike is like, oh my god, I'm gonna throw up, and Jacob's laughing. Mike runs out the room, and then Jacob says, you should find someone who laughs at the gore, that instead of those weaker men who vomit. I was like, why are you being a dickhead?
Oh, they have this long chat, which
I
didn't.
I think you were relying on me to tell you what was happening in that chat, but I honestly couldn't say.
You let me down. He was probably like...
I think what happened was...
Fuck this vampire.
It was probably, hey, I kind of like you, and you think I'm really beautiful. Oh, yeah, I kind of do. Okay. Hey, guys, I'm Mike. Fuck off, Mike. And then Jacob gets really angry because Mike exists. I mean, it's fair enough. Like, there's no... Mike does not provoke him. He just threw up because he doesn't like gore.
Yeah.
And Jacob's like, well, fuck you! And he's like, I have to leave. I'm like, good, you're embarrassing yourself.
Well, the next scene is far more interesting. My interest was piqued.
He ran into the
rain.
room.
He's cut his hair off. He's got a tattoo, and he doesn't wear a top anymore.
Yeah, he keeps ignoring her, and so Bella drives to his house, and is like, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like, I can't be with you. And I was like, but you were just saying how you wanted to be with her. Well, they would have a conversation in this film. Ironically, they have far too many conversations, but they're not actually saying anything.
They don't. He's like, I'm not a good person.
Yeah.
And she's like, don't break up with me. We're great friends. And I'm like, were you dating? Were you friends break up with you? Like,
they break up? I don't know. He says, we can't be friends anymore, and I wrote, I cannot tell you why this is happening. I just don't understand why it's happening. I mean, I know he's a werewolf, but I don't understand why I don't know.
And then she goes for a long walk to clear her head. And
yeah, because he runs into the fucking woods.
Oh, yeah.
Why does every man in her life turn into a smarmy recluse?
She meets Laurent from the first film, the French man.
Yes.
He's like, oh, bonjour, Victoria wants you to die because you killed James.
Yeah, but I am being very kind, so I'm going to kill you instead.
Very quickly, because she would kill you slowly, but I'm very hungry, and I'm going to snap your neck.
And then the wolves are like, bork bork. I think the fuck not.
And one of the wolves looks her dead in the eye.
And it's like, ah yeah!
Wink wink. I was in Shark Boy and Abigail. And Bella runs to her dad and is like, it's wolves! And I'm like, did you not... You didn't realise that was...
Maybe...
Because in the first film, Jacob goes, my tribe is descended from wolves.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, cool, I like the pale bands.
Why? I mean... I would say, if a wolf looked me in the eye, I wouldn't be like, oh, clearly that's my friend Taylor Lautner. But, also, I haven't dated a vampire.
Your mind should be open to the possibility of your friends being a werewolf.
Later on, she's like, this made me think, were all of fairy tales real? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, that would be cool if Stephanie did a bit of world building and we had some cool... I love a cool monster or a creature. Love that. Yeah. But she went, no, monsters and vampires, those are the things. Are there more things in these films?
Demon babies.
That's more as a result of the vampires, no?
Yes.
Yeah. Give me a pixie or something.
Oh, yeah. Jacob jumps up to a room. Very strong.
Yeah, and then goes, I can't tell you why, but something is wrong and I can't explain it. And then he jumps out of her window and lands perfectly on the floor. And I'm like, if I wanted to stop anyone knowing that I was a werewolf, I probably wouldn't jump out a window.
I'd use the door.
Yeah, probably.
And the stairs.
Yeah.
Dickhead.
But
so
no.
She has a dream about him being a wolf.
Does she?
Well, she kind of puts two and two together.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's like, there's the voiceover from the last film of him going, my tribe is descended from wolves. And she's like, oh! Oh, I've seen his eyes.
And he does lots of jumping.
He does lots... And there was a group of them, and he's in a group.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Might be a fucking wolf.
Yeah. Oh, meanwhile, Victoria is running about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in the background, yeah. What happened to her?
She comes back in the next one,
Oh, okay.
I think. She's Bryce Dallas Howard.
Huh?
Bryce Dallas Howard. Bryce
Yes.
Dallas.
Yes, I'm hearing the words.
She's in Jurassic World.
Oh, her!
Is it Bryce or is it Julianne Moore? I get confused between ginger actresses.
All actresses.
Maybe it's Amy Adams.
I don't think it's Amy Adams.
I think it's Bryce Dallas Howard.
Okay. Right, enough about ginger actresses. Let's talk about Patreon.
Well, I must confess to Chastain that Patreon is a great platform where you can get fabulous rewards like early access, bonus episodes, badges, postcards, and much, much Julianne Moore. And it all starts from just £1 a month.
Goodness sake. We'd also like to give a shout out to our patrons on the TRACY tier.
Here's the Reba Mac entire list.
Fucking hell. Cole Scahill.
Alice Lia Maro.
Laura Kenny.
Ed Colley.
Alex's Simp.
And nothing is certain except Beth and taxes.
These puns are going to give me a mental fissure.
And Isla Fisher.
Fucking hell! If you'd like to join these wonderful people in supporting our podcast and sign up for membership from just £1 a month, visit patreon.com/queers.
That's patreon.com/LINDSAYLOHAN. Lindsay Lohan.
Lindsay Lohan, coming up!
So she barges into his house and is like, what was he sleeping?
She says, is it to the dad or the boys? The boys. She's like, what did you do to him?
Yeah.
What?
Is he dead?
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh, I think she means what did you do to him, like, why have you done this tattoo and cut his hair? You've changed him.
Oh.
Something. I don't.
Then that's a complete overreaction. She runs up to these men and like tries to fight them.
She just slaps one of them across the fucking
Yeah,
face.
mate, it's a tattoo, get a grip.
We all get tattoos we regret. I haven't got
No,
it.
okay.
Many people get tattoos they regret.
Yeah.
Many people cut their hair and they don't like it.
I think he should have kept his hair long.
I think you should have styled it.
It was very flat on his forehead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Updo.
So yeah. Updo. So she slaps the most pissy looking of the werewolf boys. And then we have a pretty decent werewolf transformation.
We do!
It's not quite Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, because that's an excellent werewolf transformation.
Yes.
Terrifying.
It's not quite Wallace and Gromit Curse of the Were-Rabbit.
Which is iconic. But I don't know, I really... But it's better than the Doctor Who one.
I can't even remember the Doctor Who one. Probably erased it from my mind because it's shit.
I mean, there's quite a scary bit when they zoom in on his eyes, like pulsing with the moon in them. That's
yes.
quite good. Anyway, it's quite good because like it flows very nicely. Yeah.
And this guy that she slaps turns into the wolf.
Yes.
And he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And Jacob's like, hang about, runs out the house, leaps,
Yeah.
and mid-leap transforms
Yes.
into a werewolf, which is very impressive.
My one critique of this film.
Just the one.
my.
You've racked up about 30.
Okay, not a critique, it's a query.
Okay.
The one thing I'd like to sit them down and go, oh yeah, quick question. Why do the size of the wolves change just based on, it seems, a whim of the animator? Literally, sometimes they're the size of a proper dog, sometimes they're about triple a human.
Oh yeah.
It's really weird.
There is that bit of like the flashback of her in the woods and there's just a husky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, but when she first meets, now you were like, it's just because the other wolves are far behind. But the first wolf she sees is fucking massive.
It's massive. I'm sorry, I don't know.
And when the first one transforms and goes to, no, sorry, the one she slaps that transforms and goes to attack Jacob, when they pan back and he's standing, and the wolf is standing next to Bella, it's like double the height of her.
I don't know.
I just have questions and queries.
And then two of the gang take her to Emily's house, who is Sam's fiance, who I think
I
is the
thought
slappy
she'd be more important.
one. Me too. There's only room for one woman
Yeah.
in this film.
Clearly. And they were very like, don't look at her, she's hideous, it'll be so, oh my god. They've put some fake scars on an actress, that's what they've done. Very pretty actress. She has some scars on her face, and they're like, oh, I know you'll want to like vomit when you see her. but please hold it in because, like, I know it's disgusting and it's genuinely not.
Also, later on, Bella's like, where did she get those scars? And I'm like, fucking hell, you absolute idiot.
I have a question.
She dropped a knife. I don't fucking know.
Is she engaged to the person who tore up her face?
Yes.
Okay, I might have more questions.
Because he got angry one day.
That's not okay.
This saga said, be in abusive relationships.
Yeah.
That's what you deserve.
I hate this.
I hate it.
Yeah.
So they're eating some muffins.
They're all friends again.
Yes. The wolves can hear each other's thoughts. Bella and Jake have a private conversation where
she's like, "You're a murderer."
She's like, "You've been murdering all these people in the woods," and he's like, "No, we are killing the people who were killing you."
Yeah. Which begs the question because her dad's like, at the start, they're like, and another backpacker has been found mauled in the woods. So clearly loads of people are going missing. Who is doing the killing? Is it Victoria and Laurent?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But why haven't they caught him sooner?
Speedy bitches.
But as they say, the werewolves are speedier.
Well, they're boasting that they're faster than the vampire.
Oh.
It's
I'm
like
also going to have
Superman
a bit more
or the
ginger.
Flash, who's going to win?
I see. Isn't it the Flash? Because his name's Flash.
But Superman's super.
Bit general, isn't it?
No, that's General Zod.
Who the fuck is General Zod?
Superman villain.
Oh.
It's alright.
I didn't know you give a shit about superheroes.
I really love the Lego DC games and the Lego Marvel games.
Okay.
I love a Lego game.
You do.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, everyone. And then...
She's still just harping on trying to see Edward.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, you got this, like, hot new guy.
You have. He's got abs and a tattoo.
And, like, pals who seem to, like, have conversation. Like, they're weird and toxic, but, like, have human conversations, whereas the Cullens are just like, hello, welcome to our abode. We play classical music and look down on you. It's not a nice environment to be in.
Victoria apparently is still around in the woods, and we see her, like, running around and killing Charlie's friend, Harry.
Is that... No, that's not Jacob's dad, is it?
No.
No. But he knows about the wolf.
Part of the wolf pack, yeah. And Bella thinks about jumping off the cliff.
Just to be excited about jumping off a cliff.
Yes. No, isn't she like, I want to kill myself?
Oh, really?
I think she might be.
Why? She's having a great time with some wolves.
I don't know. I don't know what she wants in her life. But anyway, she jumps off it. She doesn't die.
Oh, hang on. But, like, there's a massive fight scene.
Is there?
Yeah, before she jumps off.
When? What happens?
Because Victoria's in the water by the time she jumps off.
Oh, yes, the chase. They give chase.
Which they make so boring by playing, like, the slowest music behind it. I'm like, this should be exciting.
Every day, running away from wolves.
So yeah, she jumps into the sea. And Victoria swims towards her?
Oh yeah, there's a big wave and she slams her head on this rock.
Yeah.
And Victoria's like, oh yeah, you're right.
But then, I've realised, sorry I'm eating, just fucks off the rest of the film.
She does.
Why did that happen?
I googled Victoria just to make sure that I knew what was going on with her. It's like, she's the main villain of New Moon. And I'm like, is she?
She's in like 20
She
minutes.
don't fucking say anything.
Isn't the main villain Bella?
Of the whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, true. Accurate. She has a vision of Edward saving her, but it's actually Jacob that saves her.
Yeah. And Jacob has a massive conversation with her about how he can never be with her because what if he gets angry at her? And I'm like, this film is just an allegory about how men need to learn how to control their anger.
Absolutely.
It's not, women are not collateral for you being in a mood.
New mood.
New mood.
I got
Me every
new
20
moods.
minutes. I got new moods I can.
Bella goes home and
Boo!
she turns on the light and literally, boo! We jumped. Because Alice is there. She's like, I broke into your house. And Bella's not like, what the fuck?
You're like, oh, alright. I am. Gives her a hug.
She's like, I had a vision of you jumping off a cliff. Why are you still alive?
I'm like, why don't you go to the cliff then?
Yeah.
Go and save her.
Yeah.
I'm just chilling there. Why are you just eating eaten her food.
Oh, I heard you were dead, so I know your house now.
She walks in, Alice is just in a bubble bath. Oh, hello. I thought you were dead.
He says, I have never met anyone more prone to life-threatening idiocy. I'm like, correct.
Not wrong, yeah.
Where'd you get those scars? I know you're married to a wolf, but like, those scars?
What's going on your face?
Did you fall in a blender?
Oh.
Or did you open a present too dramatically?
And then your boyfriend, as they're wont to do, threw you against a wall. Who amongst us?
She goes, what's that wet dog smell? And Bella goes, that'll be Jacob. He's kind of a werewolf. I'm like,
This was supposed to be a secret as well.
he is a... This is her problem. The linguist Robin Lakoff has a lot of theories about gender and language, and that women kind of hedge what they're saying, so they don't like to commit to an idea fully, generally.
I mean, I don't think that's just like the way women's brains work. I think that's a socialised thing.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
It's all about how we're going to socialise to speak.
Okay, right, yeah.
And it's quite dated, but there are some things that hold true. And I'm like, this is your problem, Bella. You were like a wishy-washy, namby-pamby.
She is...
Fucking...
Do
you ever feel like a plastic bag?
She's the definitive mousy bitch. And as we know, if you've been listening from the start of this podcast, I hate a mousy bitch.
We love a mousy bitch. We did a poll about our favourite mousy bitches. You can only be a mousy bitch if you're a mouse.
Yes. That is the only time I will accept a mousy bitch. She's just so wet. He's kind of like a werewolf.
He is a werewolf. Just say he's a werewolf.
He's a werewolf. Also, that's definitely a secret.
Got a secret? Can you keep it?
I mean, I know Alice probably knows that family's a werewolf, but...
I mean, yeah.
Anyway.
And then Bella and Jacob argue about...
he just turns up in her house.
Oh, yeah. He's like, sorry, I was waiting outside.
Yeah.
You're right, love. And they almost kiss. They put their lips near each other and breathe. And then the phone rings. And Jacob answers it. Because he lives there. He goes, Swan residence. Oh no, he's not here at the moment. He's planning a funeral. Bye-bye.
This is the only time I was like, Jacob, you little prick.
I mean, to be fair, Jacob's not wrong.
He's not,
He's
but
he
knows what he's doing.
Man.
He knows what he's doing.
He does, and we see Edward backlit by Christ the Redeemer.
Yeah. It's in Rio, having a great time.
The director of this one was definitely like, we'll put Christ the Redeemer behind him, because that's a thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a symbol.
Who directed this?
Fucking I don't think anyone did. I think they're just like, go on, have at it.
They just let Kristen Stewart loose in the forest.
They did. This is a documentary.
Yeah. And Jacob's fucking fuming because he's been called out on his bullshit.
Oh yeah, Alice is like, it's Edward, he thinks you're dead.
Yeah. And
Bella's like, why didn't you let me speak to him?
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, here's this fucking miscommunication, Romeo and Juliet nonsense.
Yes. So they catch a plane, which is my least favourite part of any film. I hate when they have to change locations and they show a shot of a plane.
Just show him getting off a plane.
Yeah. Or just show them in another plane. I don't know.
Or just have a big word, Italy.
Next up. I hate when the film is like, has any level of fantasy. And they're like, so we queued at Heathrow for an hour, and then we got our boarding passes. And like, no!
Why did she bring a cacti with her like she did in the first film?
She's outgrown her cacti.
That's the true meaning of this film.
Yeah.
Because Edward has gone to the Volturi to die, too. Because he doesn't want to be alive without Bella. Because he thinks that she's dead.
Good thing he didn't just, I don't know, kill himself. Can they kill themselves?
I don't think so. I don't know. Annoyingly, also, when he has spoken to Jacob on the phone and he hears that Charlie's organising a funeral, he crushes his mobile, like, in his hands.
Yeah.
Like, okay, what if they needed to call you?
He also doesn't say, sorry, is that Jacob from down the road? What are you doing in our house? Is Charlie there? You're just alone in the house? That's really fucking weird, man. Like,
when is the funeral? Can I come and visit?
Because my girlfriend is dead.
What are the details? Like, is there
ex-girlfriend.
Is there like a collection? Or like
Is there a wake? Are they going to be those little sausage rolls? I wrote, Italy. This is so stupid.
this whole sequence. Michael Sheen says to Edward, like, I'm sorry, but your gifts are too good for us to kill you.
Terry Pratchett killed himself.
Alright.
He was arguably better than a vampire.
Oh, I see. I was like, why did you bring that up?
No, I just mean, like, it doesn't matter if someone's gifted.
Mm.
I'm not going to turn this into, like,
We won't have this
advocating for...
And he's like, but you can, like, join us in the Vulture if you want to. And he's like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
Thanks anyway.
Sounds pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
To be with Michael Sheen is a lovely time.
He's a lovely time.
Yeah.
He's pretty fit in this as well.
Is he?
I think it's just, like, the cheekbones.
Yeah.
They're all wearing a lot of highlighter.
They are wearing a lot of highlighter.
And then we see Yellow Car No Return driving through the streets.
Alice went, I need to serve some Lukes. And she did.
She has this, like, headscarf on, this coat, driving gloves.
Yes.
Queer.
Yes. My nan had driving gloves. Imagine if this is how I found out.
My nan sent me an email yesterday. Didn't know she knew how to.
Okay.
With the title, the subject was pandemic. And she was like,
And she just found out.
she's like, we're all so proud of how you've, like, handled yourself through this pandemic.
Oh.
Like, we're all so proud of you. I'm like, okay, so my grandma's dying?
Yeah. Was that what she said?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
And I was like, thank you so much. Here is my Monzo.
I was going to say, that sounds like, and I would love your account details because I want to send you, like, that's what that sounds like to me.
I mean, I hope so. We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll wait and see. Alice has a vision that he's going to reveal himself to the humans.
Yeah.
It's very like flamboyant. It's a queer way of dying.
Yeah.
Take off your top and go with the sun.
Yeah. I'm coming out.
Because it's St. Marco's Day or something.
Yes,
Where
where
they
they celebrate killing vampires.
Getting rid of all the vampires from the town. Except for all the vampires that live in the town.
In the very centre of the town.
She has 5 minutes to stop him.
But they can't drive through, so Bella has to get out and run, and will she make it? Yes, of course she's going to make
She
it.
has 3 more films.
Yes. Oh, imagine if he just died.
Oh, roll credits, done. He starts unbuttoning his shirt, it's noon.
It's so slow-mo, it's ridiculous. And she's like, she gets to this fountain, and instead of running around the fountain, she decides the quickest way to get to him is to wade through water.
Like a Bridget Jones nonsense.
It was so stupid.
I hate it. And he steps outside. Luckily only a little child sees and like tries to like pull on the
Yeah.
parents.
Is she going to be important at any point?
I don't think so.
Oh.
I don't think so at all. Is any of this important?
I mean, at the end of the
Relevant
day,
to the plot.
it doesn't fucking matter.
And then the Volturi come and arrest him for like almost doing it.
Yeah.
And who fucking arrives? Dakota fucking Fanning.
I don't really know who that is.
Dakota Fanning.
I know her name.
She's in some iconic films.
Is she?
Charlotte's Web.
Oh. As a child?
Yes.
Right.
She's in the War of the Worlds film. She was in Daddy Daycare. Or maybe her sister Elle Fanning was in Daddy Daycare.
Right.
She's in like Maleficent and stuff, Elle Fanning. But Dakota Fanning, crucially, was in the best film of all time.
I feel like you were going to name a shit film.
You know what, I'm going to keep it to myself.
No, please do tell me and the listeners.
The Cat in the Hat.
So I wasn't wrong, was I?
The Cat in the Hat is the best film ever made. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with her.
There are so many things wrong with that.
We are going to watch The Cat in the Hat. And you're going to see that the plot is perfect. There are no holes.
Mm-hmm.
The performances, excellent.
Terrifying.
Sean Hayes is in it.
Who the fuck is Sean
He's
Hayes?
in Will and Grace. Alec Baldwin's
I've never
in
seen
it.
Will and Grace because I have taste.
Will and Taste.
Will and Taste.
Your last Will and Testament. Anyway, The Cat in the Hat, Dakota Fanning, she's there. She's like,
Yeah.
let's take him to Michael.
Yeah. Yeah, they go downstairs. It's this bit goes like we checked and we had like half an hour left, and we were like, what the fuck is going on?
What more can happen?
Yeah.
Also, nothing has happened yet.
Michael Sheen, crucially, cannot read Bella's thoughts.
She doesn't have any. Because her head
This was
is
a tweet.
empty.
Credit to the tweet
Credit
that
to the
originally
tweet.
said that. It's awful. And then Dakota can give them pains, but she can't give Bella the pains.
Yes.
Yes. But she tortures, what's his name?
Edward.
For a bit.
For a long time.
For the laughs.
Yeah. And then Michael Sheen's like, you know too much.
And the guys behind him are like, you should kill her. And he's like, oh, I shouldn't. It'd be very naughty of me to keep her alive.
Odds on.
Odds on. 7.
But Edward, like, leaps in and is like, no! And they have a fight.
Which was boring again. Stop making it slow-mo.
Ugh. And with, like, sad songs behind it.
Yeah.
Don't give a shit. And Bella's like, no, take me instead. I'll do it. Kill me. Just say. And then Alice,
Yes.
who's randomly there.
Alice, who's speaking up for the first time in a while,
She's taken off her
given that
gloves.
she knows the future of everything. She's just been sitting pretty in the corner.
She's like, she will be a vampire.
And Bella's like, I will.
And they have a little vision of her, like, and him in the forest,
Hang
just
on.
sparkling.
What was the point of this film when they could have just asked Alice in the first place?
Go ask Alice. I think
That's-
she'll know.
A white rabbit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then one of them behind him goes, let us be done with this.
And we were like, same.
And they just fuck off.
Yeah. Oh, and Michael is like, let me just check the veracity of Alice's little claims here, and like shakes her hand and can read her mind or whatever. And he sees Edward running in a waistcoat and shirt through the forest, and then Bella joins him like she's in some
organza, like
cottage
spring
core.
awakening.
Yeah. And no one went, what was that from?
Don't
Wait, is their wedding in it? It's gonna be their fucking wedding.
It's their fucking wedding. Well, we won't be
What
watching
an
it.
ugly dress. No, it's the dress is fine. But for a wedding, he's wearing beige at his own wedding.
Horrid.
Don't be horrid, Edward.
Then Bella's like to the Cullens. She goes to their house and she says, "Right, you'll need to vote on me being a vampire."
Why does she keep leaving it up to other people to control her life?
I know. Secret ballot.
Yes.
My mum used to do a secret ballot all the time.
Were you a
Makes
good
no
dancer?
sense. What?
Were you a good dancer?
That's like secret ballet.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Sorry.
Secret ballot is when you do a thumbs up or a thumbs down, then you put your other fist over the thumb so that no one can see what it is.
How do you do a thumbs down? But surely people will know based on the angle of your hand.
But you can disguise it. This is really tricky for this audio podcast. And then you reveal it.
Okay.
So secret ballot, and it just looks like you're holding two fists.
Why didn't she just get people to close their eyes and raise their hand?
She liked the theatre of it all.
Mother Teresa is very theatrical.
Camp Old Slag, famously.
Slag.
So who says? Alice says yes. Jasper says yes. Rosalie's like, if I wish someone had voted no on my fucking life, babes. I hate this. I'm fucking sick of it.
Yeah.
Snap me head off, please. She says no.
She can literally do that. Anyway.
And Emmett says yes.
Which one's Emmett?
Emmett's like the jock one.
Oh yeah, got you.
Esme says yes. And Carlisle says yes.
They all say yes apart from Rosalie.
And
Why
Edward
is she
is like,
why did you make her the villain of the piece?
oh, I don't fucking know.
Just a blonde trying to have a nice time.
She's the Sharpay of the piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can we just ignore Bella? Just focus on her. Yeah.
So it's done. It was not done. They're going to do it at some point.
Yes.
It's going to happen.
And she said that she wants Edward to do it.
Yes.
Murder me daddy, literally.
But he couldn't control himself last time. He had to suck blood out of her.
I assume there's going to be people around.
I get Carlisle's done it the most times. Get Carlisle to do it.
Yeah. So hang on. Why isn't she a vampire from the last time? They
He
took the
didn't put
poison
the
out.
venom in.
Yeah.
And then they're driving home.
Yeah.
And Jacob stops their car.
Jacob just walks in front of a moving vehicle, is what Jacob does.
But he's topless and fit, so it's fine.
Yeah.
He could flip that car if he wanted, I'm sure.
Flip the car, daddy.
Edward's like, thank you for looking after Bella. Bye. And Jacob's like, hang about. Hang the fuck about.
I want to say my piece.
We have a treaty between the Cullens and the werewolves. if you fucking bite a human,
Yeah.
treaty's null and void, babe.
Yeah. Well, didn't they bite a human, like, last film? Bella?
No, they sucked because James bit her.
Oh, got
And
you.
they just did lips. No teeth involved.
That sounds like, I don't know, when your teenage boyfriend's trying to... Just lips, no teeth.
Just no teeth. And Bella's like, Jacob, don't make me choose between you because it ain't gonna be you, hun.
She's also like, I love you, in front of her boyfriend.
So I love you, but...
Queen of leading people on and switching the game up in like 2 seconds flat.
Obsessed.
Yeah.
And then they're about to start fighting.
Yeah, and she's like, no!
Don't fucking fight over me, I'm honestly not worth it.
And she's not wrong.
You can't hurt each other without hurting me.
Yeah. And Jacob looks all hurt and he's a little wolf
Mm-hmm.
and he runs away.
He runs away. And then Edward tells Bella that he'll only change her into a vampire if she marries him.
And and it was the most anticlimactic proposal I've ever seen in my life. I'll only do it if you marry me. Oh, do you want to marry me? Not really, but needs must.
This film could have been like a small chunk of text at the start of the next film.
Right, if you go through what actually happened, it's quite an exciting film.
Mm-hmm.
But they just filled it with chatting that didn't matter.
Yeah.
They ruined all the fight scenes,
Mm-hmm.
and any tension they just destroyed.
Yeah.
It's just bad.
And in terms of the overarching plot of the whole saga,
Yeah.
don't really fucking matter.
No.
Because she's in the same place as she was.
Yeah.
But now she's
But like,
just,
think about
now
it.
she has to be a vampire.
So, for example, when she meets Laurent, she just,
Yves Saint Laurent.
yes, she just walks into a field because she remembers a dream there, and he's there. He could have been like tailing her, there could have been some tension built, but no, she's just chilling in a field. I'm so upset. So is it camp?
No.
No. Is it queer? No.
No, even though it has...
I mean, Jacob made you queer, we've established.
Yes.
Oh, are you Team Edward or Team Bella? No.
I was Team Jacob all the way.
Right. I'm Team none of them.
I mean,
honestly.
I'm Team End This now.
Yeah. Team Snap Me Neck Off Michael Sheen.
I'm Team Michael Sheen.
Team Michael Sheen, who's
Also
just
Team
having a
Dakota
fun
Fanning.
team. She's just... I don't... Did she say a line? I don't know. I found her quite boring.
Oh, she just goes, pain.
Oh, good
Jane
one.
the Pain.
Jane Payne. Does she come back later?
I think so.
Right. Yeah, I'm Team Michael.
Yes. And Team Charlie, like I was in the film. Even though, I know, ACAB. It's an
Charlie's...
ACAB podcast, but we like Charlie's parenting style.
Yes, but also, everyone in this film... Oh, I was about to say everyone in this film is white, I guess, apart from... Is Taylor Lautner actually...
I think he's...
Native
I
American?
googled him and he's like distantly Native American.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
But it is a very white town.
It fucking is.
Apart from the vampire. They went, we have one black character, what are we going to do with him? Let's villainize him! Didn't they describe him as the one with dreadlocks at one point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, is this meant to be like an allegory for like racial tension?
I think there's
between
a
the
difference
vampire
between allegory and just evidence of shit behaviour.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? I think it's not intentional, personally.
I see.
It's lampshading.
Okay, sure.
You know what lampshading is?
No.
It's when they... like, you know when there's a character who... for example, when a man writes, like, an assault into a script, and then they're like, it's to explain the problem of sexual assault. It's like, yeah, we know it's a problem. What is your script adding to the debate? Like, it's just showing it rather than doing anything.
I see.
Yeah.
Lampshading.
Lampshading.
Oh, every day's a school day.
Yes. Take that with you.
That's the only good thing to come out of watching this fucking film.
And also, it's really satisfying when someone's like being a fucking devil's advocate to go, no, that's just lampshading. And they're like, what? And it's like, no, shut up.
Nice.
Shush. Shush.
So that's the end.
Yeah.
Don't forget to subscribe, share, review, rate.
Yes.
Tell a friend.
Tell enemy.
Tell sexy.
Michael Sheen!
Tell Michael Sheen.
Please.
Should we get Michael Sheen as a guest?
Please.
I don't know what else I've seen Michael Sheen in. I saw him in Good Omens.
He's playing a serial killer in prison right now.
Nice.
He's pretty good at it as well
Chris
because
Tarrant.
he's got such a lovely smiley face that you easily believe he could get away with murders for many years. Do you know what I
I'd
mean?
let him murder me.
Sure, why not?
Odds on, Michael. Balls in your court. You can follow us at Queers Gone By on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at Kate Butch 1 on both.
And I'm at Caitlin Powell on Instagram and at Caitlin PWLL on Twitter.
And we shall see you next week for even more spooky nonsense.
Boo!
Boo!